Hey there. Welcome back to some more X Defiant. Or welcome if you're new. I saw that there was a double XP weekend going on, and that got my blood pumping. I thought to myself, man, experience, but twice as much? I'd love me some of that. So I figured I'd just, hop right back into things. Right now I'm just trying to level up my M16. I just unlocked the holoscope. I figured I'd try it out for a game. Or at least for a few lives, see how I feel about it by the end of a match. Another thing that I've heard that I forgot to turn on myself just now is that with the double XP, you can actually use double XP tokens on top of it and they stack with each other. So during the events, you should be able to get some pretty quick level ups here. I've played around with the other classes. I've pretty much exclusively been using the Phantoms. The shield ability is just so good. The ability to turn around fights, to hold lanes, to... Honestly, it's just really versatile. And then on top of that, just having 20 extra health over every other character is, I feel like it's pretty good. I'd have to look up, or I'd have to watch a VOD, probably, to know exactly how much it's actually saving my life, but it seems like it's doing it quite a bit. From my experience playing this map, at least being on the other side of this spawn, felt pretty good. Yeah, being over here feels really strong. Oh! I need to play OBJ. Rippin'? Oh, fuck. Oh, I missed both bursts. I deserve to die there. Challenging a sniper down a free lane where he's got very little places to miss. Oh my god. I'm very clearly around that corner. What the fuck? That was a magic ass bullet. The big, some of the big complaints I've heard about this game are probably the lack of skill-based matchmaking, which, I mean, if you really want in the game, there's a playlist for the first 25 levels that includes it, but I mean, I guess that's not much consolation to people that would just rather have it be in the game full stop. My thoughts on the whole like skill-based matchmaking argument has always been that the idea of skill-based matchmaking and what it's supposed to do are really good, but I've never seen it or played with it implemented in a way that made me feel like I guess I was having an organic experience, if that makes sense. I feel like when I play COD, if I have a bad game, I know that my next game is probably going to either be like a struggle to do well in, or it's just going to be another bad game. And then the game after that, I'm probably going to smash. And it just goes in like this endless cycle of me feeling like I can predict how my game's going to go before I even get into it in this matchmaking system that's supposed to be based on your skill. Like matching you against players based on your skill, right? So if I could see the system, anytime the system's implemented, and it's implemented in a way where it's like, I just feel like it's so hard to do for team-based games. Anytime you're not forcing people to play as a team. Because the MMR fluctuates so much. Just by adding different players and like people playing at different times, like people playing on tilt when they normally might not, like so many things factor into how well a team is going to play into each other, and I find it incredibly difficult to imagine a system that's also trying to match people up with like solid connections. I find there's no shot that there's any kind of, there's no shot that it can actually prioritize skill as highly as it, like, wants to claim it will. Holy shit, I'm getting walked here. Oh, the shield. trying to articulate how I feel about this, because I feel like it's really easy to just be like, to just say that skill-based matchmaking is obviously good, because the idea of it, like, obviously is, you know? But I feel like that because of the implementation being so obviously flawed in the cases of so many games, I find it so hard to side with its usage in so many multiplayer games, when I find the end result is just like the game becoming this angry, meta-filled sweat fest where like everybody just like kind of low-key hates each other because they're not trying their hardest to win at every given moment. In this game, because you know the people that you're playing with aren't supposed to be like your level, quote-unquote, it's a lot easier to not really worry about what they're doing, or to just kind of play the game without worrying about how the system is influencing things. Wow, I just got like 3 levels from that game. I think the biggest benefit to a connection-based matchmaking system is that the better you get at the game, it's a lot easier to feel your skill improving. Like, if you're a middle-of-the-pack player, you should be consistently middle-of-the-pack in your lobby. Maybe you don't like that, maybe that makes you upset, but you should be consistently a middle-of-the-pack player. It should just be like how it'll work in a connection-based matchmaking system, because those are the players you'll play against. But because of that, also, if you start improving, you'll start being on the higher end of the pack more and more. And you'll be able to notice that improvement a lot more readily than, say, because of skill-based matchmaking, constantly fluctuating around lobbies, playing with players of fluctuating skill levels in like a way that the system understands, but it just makes your play experience feel a lot more manufactured. I don't know a better way to describe it than that. Oh my god. Yeah, skill-based matchmaking systems work really well when you're in a 1v1 setting, because it's a lot easier to get a gauge, or to put like a gauge on players' skill against each other, and then like actually, you know, have them meet in that crucible. But even then, it can be very wrong, because 2 players can have the skill sets that just match up in a way where one could win 90% of their matches, just because of what they practiced individually to get to those points. I think that's a big problem that ends up happening in League of Legends. Because the game is role-based, and because everybody's learning how to play the game in their own different ways, a lot of people will get to their elo with different understandings of the game, and 2 people will be in the same place, and they'll both be right about what they know, but they'll both be missing just all of the other person's knowledge as well, while being in identical rank. I think I've gotten another 3 levels from this game, so the double XP is going hard, especially with the token I popped. Flamethrower does not go far enough for that. Oh, he finally got me. Dude, that Ultra is good. Yeah, I feel like the basic gist of my argument is that if XDefiant was a game where you had to queue as like a 6-man when you were playing a 6-man game mode, then I think skill-based matchmaking would absolutely be the way to go about things. But because of the way that skill-based matchmaking ends up being implemented into games where you're just queuing into a random team of players, it just kind of ends up being this almost like this predictable feeling experience where I don't feel rewarded for having a good game, because I felt like that good game was just kind of given to me. And I don't feel punished for having a bad game because that bad game was just supposed to happen. It was just like it was a canon event. What is this scope, man? I looked down this expecting a form of red dot, and I got this. What? Yeah, no, I think I like having the, I'm not a big fan of the 3X. Also, to top it all off, most competitive games these days have ranked game modes. Why not let the ranked game mode be where the skill-based matchmaking is happening? Like, why isn't that what the point of it kind of is? Like, realistically, one of the best ways you're ever going to become, like, a good player, or to, as, like, infuriating as it can be, to, like, ever actually, like, level up in games like this, is to play against players better than you and see what they do and steal their tech. If you never get to play against those players because the system won't let you, because the system is, like, protecting you from them, then, I don't know, it's just, like, you don't get to interact with each other because you're part of a different class. Oh, I got those ults. I have literally 1 HP right now. Oh, I just ran on top of a nade. I was doing so well there, too. Every time I shoot somebody out of camo in this game, it triggers that little part of my brain that's like, oh yeah, this is what you played Halo 3 for. Oh, 1 HP again. Well, that's at least twice this game that the passive saved my life. I wonder how often people just stop shooting because they think they're gonna kill you because they're not like ready for the health change. Yeah, this guy, yeah, he was on one that game. Alright, well, thank you again for joining me for XDefiant. Drop a like on the video if you stuck around this long, and let me know down below what you've been thinking of the game so far. What you thought of my little rant here. Because another kind of side benefit to this is that if there's no skill-based matchmaking, then the only place to go to really test yourself as, like, a really sweaty player is to go play ranked. It lets ranked actually be its own game mode. And I think that's kind of... I think that's very important for any competitive game. But, you know, that's just my 2 cents on things. Have a lovely morning, noon, or night, and peace.